I had an academy buddy, John Monago, murdered on duty as a Dublin police officer. This county has not given the death penalty to any cop killer. It's a pathetic shame. I'm a sincere believer in the death penalty for people that kill people. The victims of families, lives are ruined forever. Most of them end up in social service needs for mental issues. Prop 34 should go down. It's a shame that people want to see the death penalty abolished.
Southern trees.
Well, a story now you probably won't see on the mainstream news. A 54-year-old man who is considered mentally retarded was just executed in the state of Texas. This after the man's stay of execution was denied by the higher court just hours before he was scheduled to die. Marvin Wilson was convicted back in 1992 for the murder of 21-year-old Jerry Williams. Since then, his legal team has been fighting for his life, arguing that he should be ineligible for the death penalty because of his low IQ. After all, an IQ of 70 is considered mental retardation. Now, many people parallel the story of Wilson to that of Lenny and Thomas Steinbeck's book of Mice and Men. Prosecutors, though, disagree. They say he's manipulative and deceitful and say that his criminal career is proof enough of his competency. The Supreme Court issued a ruling in 2002 outlawing the execution of the mentally impaired, but left it to states to determine what constitutes mental impairment and whether executing them violates the Eighth Amendment. Wilson will be the 7th person executed in Texas this year, and at least 9 other prisoners have execution dates in the coming months. Texas is the state that most often uses the death penalty. The U.S. is one of the last remaining first world nations to see it as a solution.
I'm Nell Abram with FSRN Headlines. The U.S. Supreme Court today said it will not review the role race played when a Texas jury sentenced a black man to the death penalty. Dwayne Buck was convicted of a 1995 murder. During the penalty phase, a psychologist, Dr. Walter Quijano, testified that blacks are more likely to be violent offenders. In another capital case, the court said that a U.S. district court erred when it tossed out a conviction and death sentence. Archie Dixon was convicted of a 1993 robbery and murder. Dixon confessed to the crime, but later contended that his confession was coerced outside of Miranda rules. And among the cases that the court agreed to take on are 2 that consider the constitutionality of sentencing youth under age 14 to life without parole when convicted of murder. A curfew has been imposed in northeastern Nigeria following a series of coordinated suicide bombings and killings, which left scores of people dead over the weekend. Sam Olukoya reports from Lagos.
The Islamist militant group Boko Haram said it carried out the attacks which targeted the military, the police and churches in Nigeria's northeastern states of Borno and Yobe. Police put the death toll at a little over 50, but other sources like the Red Cross say as